Oops, did I lose you?
Good morning. A little bit of an interruption there by Paul, perhaps some of you caught. Good morning. Welcome to the VSA Capital 5 Minute Morning Miner. It's Wednesday, the 10th of May. I'm back. I've been out and about, Paul. How are you?
Oh, very fine, thanks. Very fine. Looks like a bright sunny day too. Good day for cycling, maybe.
Yeah, obviously haven't been on my bike for a while. I've been down in Cornwall for the 2 bank holiday weekends and also in Tel Aviv. No mining in Tel Aviv. Actually, their knowledge on mining in Tel Aviv was diabolical. I did meet a company that was involved in DLE, direct lithium extraction, but I think unfortunately they're a little bit behind the curve. Cornwall, as usual, was lovely, but everything in the southwest of England, the reason it's lovely is everything goes so slowly. And those of you that are invested in the area as well probably are also thinking the same. If you want to catch up on that, please do give me a direct call. Now, Paul, also you're mining 1-to-1. Every week there's a blooming conference, isn't there?
Yeah, well, there's more than one almost now going on. Like, for instance, there's a couple of them yet this week as well in other parts of the world. So it's definitely crowded in the events now.
But what is crazy, it doesn't happen in any other sector like this, does it? I mean, not that you necessarily know because you're a geologist and mining analyst, but it is really quite absurd the way this sector works. Anyway, enough of that. Just one other rambling point. I do notice, Paul, the lithium price has actually rallied quite a lot in the last few weeks whilst I've been away.
Well, it's right. And that's
on.
More or less this in the past week as well. There's been a turn in the market and a change in sentiment here a little bit as well. And that's all based on people looking at Chinese spot prices, which are now rising as well. So definitely there's a bubble underneath the price at the moment.
Yeah, I think though that we obviously at the beginning of the year did warn everybody, watch it, lithium price is going to come off, watch it, lithium stocks are going to come off. So we've sort of been short all year, and absolutely correct. I just feel probably the time to take your shorts off. I know as the weather comes out, we should all be thinking about putting our shorts on, but that's a different sort of short. No, so I think you take your shorts off on lithium stocks now. Whether we go charging back in or not, I don't know, but obviously it's of interest, but there's definitely been a change in away from the negative sentiment, I think it's fair to say. Anyway, sorry, I've been rabbiting on there. Let's go through the news we've got this morning, please, Paul.
Yeah, first off, VSA client and TSX listed Mexico Explorer Prime Mining, their coffers have had a flood of cash come in here with the redemption of warrants, which brought in $28 million. Those were warrants that were issued at a price of $2 and not that long ago, just at the end of last year. So this is mandatory redemption in order to bring in the cash. And what that does is it tops up the coffers such that Prime now has 2 years worth of cash to spend on drilling and met testing on their Los Reyes project in Mexico. And the intent of that over the next period is to double the resources on the project. And it's already multi-million ounce. So keep an eye on that one for sure.
It's a great management team, Prime Mining. As you say, the warrants are at 2, trading at 267 or so at the moment, but well off its peak at 5. And gold is, again, another commodity that's having a bit of a rally. So if you're interested in a gold miner, it is on the TSX, but Prime Mining is quality. Keep going, Paul.
Yes, we had an announcement out from AIM quoted Ariana Resources that they have finalized the terms and signed the documents in order to acquire TSX listed Avrupa Resources Slavovo gold deposit in Kosovo. This makes the third country now that Ariana has stepped into, Kosovo being in the Balkans, whereas they began their activities more than a decade ago in Turkey and have been in Cyprus as well now for a couple of years. The Slavovo deposit is a historically known resource. It is an underground target that has less than 1 million ounces in it, but its grade is pretty good, well in excess of 7 grams, if I remember correctly. And this deal is for Ariana to eventually gain full control if it wishes to, and if Rupa doesn't choose to spend into the construction cycle of the mine. So In this case, I think it looks like Ariana's expertise is going to be applied to a deposit that Avrupa otherwise has its expertise in more grass roots exploration across Europe. So we'll see how it develops in coming months.
Very good. Rattling on. Anything else?
Yep, Polymetal's Q1 results are out, and they also put out a separate release as well that they do intend to domicile the company away from Jersey to Kazakhstan. The reason for that being the Russia-Ukraine war and the USA sanctions against Russia, and then the counter sanctions against the United States by Russia, but also against Polymetal's current domicile, which is in the Channel Islands, specifically of Jersey. So this, in order to be able to eventually separate the Kazakh operations of Polymetal from the Russian operations in due course and get the best returns for shareholders in that event. The Q1 gold report came out with decrease of production by 5% year on year due to some scheduling and grade block model differences at various mine operations. But the revenue was up 19% year on year to $733 million US. No change really in the net debt position, and Polymetal did reiterate its 2023 guidance for 1.7 million ounces in gold equivalent, and also the cost guidance to be all-in sustaining costs around just above $1,300 US per ounce.
Okay, interesting that relocation. I did notice that the Russian military parade for defeating the Russians that's just taking place, where they only had one tank. Apparently the reason you couldn't see all the other tanks was because they're using stealth technology. You just couldn't see them. That's a joke, by the way. But I did notice that they had officials at that parade from Kazakhstan and Armenia, as well as Belarus, which may make people just a little bit nervous of Kazakhstan. Just a thought, but there you go. Okay, anything else quickly, Paul?
That's all I have for you at this time.
Okay, very good. In which case, back to mines and not mines and money. That was last week, whatever. 1 to 1. And tomorrow you can tell me what your favourite company was. Thanks, Paul.
Very good. Will do.